Hey guys, thanks for coming back. This weekend I saw Dracula Untold, starring Luke Evans, Dominic Cooper, and Sarah Gadon. And this is with a K review. I'm Victor. And you know what? It's October, guys. Finally, October. A month full of the scariest movies we could possibly find. You know, gore and jump scares and just jump scares, really.
With a K review. It's VIC?
No, it's with a K.
Oh.
So when I first started seeing trailers for Dracula Untold, I was like, okay, maybe this movie is going to be pretty awesome. From all the trailers, it looked like there was going to be really cool action, there was going to be bats, and you were going to have Luke Evans finally playing another awesome character. And then I saw it was PG-13, and there's an issue with that, but we'll get to that later. Now, in this movie of Dracula Untold, I was expecting there to be some really cool stuff. Now, Luke Evans, to me, is a really good actor. I've liked him in a lot of different things. He was in Lord of the Rings, and he's the one actor, like, honestly, when he is in a role, he takes that role very seriously. Like, every time I've seen him, he's just serious. He's just serious face all the time, and I love that. And in this movie, he plays Vlad, and I thought that's pretty awesome. You know, like, Vlad the Impaler, who's Dracula, you know, in the legendary stuff, he is like the main vampire. You know, there's a ton of different movies that's been about him, and you know, you have Bram Stoker's Dracula, you have Dracula 2000, which and in this interpretation of Dracula, you have Vlad being played by Luke Evans, and I really thought like he was going to be more demonic than anything else, but it turns out this movie, Dracula is like made to be kind of like the anti-hero. And if you actually look up Vlad the Impaler's biography and stuff, that guy was a total D-bag. I mean, just complete and utter jerk to everybody. He impaled people, he ruled with an iron fist, and in this movie, he's kind of played up to be like a likable guy, and Luke Evans does do a really good job of that, but then there becomes to be issues with this movie. Now, I'm not going to go through and like give you all the horrible aspects of this movie, because when I left this movie, I thought, this is a decent movie, but there were just a lot of things here that I think they could have done way better with the movie. In this movie, you have Gary Shore, who's like a first-time director, and a lot of people have been comparing the way he directed a lot of these action scenes to being that in the type of the Hunger Games series, you know, like especially the first Hunger Games where it was like the shaky cam where it would pull away from the action, and that's what this movie actually does. It has like these big battles where people are like hitting each other, and like a person would hit one person and there would be nothing. There, no blood, no nothing at all. And I didn't understand that because people are not made of air. Well, there's air. All right, there's air inside. All right, I'm not going to get into this. What I'm trying to say is that like when there's like a big battle and there's these big fight scenes in this movie, there's no blood or there's no gore or really anything. There's a lot of disturbing imagery, but there's nothing that really like is intense enough to really enjoy it as you're watching it. And that's really another thing in this movie that is really, really missing is like the intensity. I mean, like you have the bad guy played by Dominic Cooper, who I'm not sure if it's Dracula's actual brother because he calls him his brother in this movie, or maybe it's just some sort of relation of some. I didn't know. I had no idea. And that character that Dominic Cooper plays, he just doesn't have any real presence on the screen. He's just kind of like a paper thin kind of character, and that's kind of the way the whole movie kind of was. And even the basic premise of this story is kind of cool, you know, because you have Dracula who's trying to save his people from the Turks, and they're going to come in, they're going to destroy his kingdom, so he has to go up to this mountain to get these powers from this vampire. And again, there's that sense in that he's supposed to be going against another vampire, but again, that's not really drawn out in the movie. It's not really makes feel any intensity whatsoever. And then I thought, okay, maybe Dominic Cooper would do something. He didn't, like I said. And then I thought there was going to be maybe something with maybe the wife of Vlad, like, she's going to make us feel sorry for her, or, she's going to draw us into her character. And the woman that plays that character, I have not seen her in anything else. She's been like a ton of other movies that I haven't even seen her in. If you look at the description below, I have some of that, but again, you just don't really care about her character. You don't care about the father and son relationship in the movie. And I was trying to figure out, is there something that I can tell you that is really awesome about this movie? And not really. There are a few good action scenes, but there's nothing that I can really say that you need to go see it on the big screen. I even saw this on the IMAX screen, and even a lot of the action scenes were so dark and everything was moving so fast, you couldn't see anything that was really happening. It was really hard to make out a lot of the action. I think there were some good aspects in this movie, though. I mean, Luke Evans does a really good job as Dracula, but it's really the script. The script does nothing for me, and I just I just didn't really enjoy it that much. So in general, I really can't recommend that you guys go see Dracula Untold. For me, I'm going to give this movie about a 1.5K review because Luke Evans did do a good job on his part as Dracula. It's just the writing of the rest of the characters, the action, and a lot of the other things that looked cool. You guys already saw it in the trailer. So when this one comes out on video, rent it for $1. And when it comes up on streaming, put it in the bottom 50 for like a Friday night and have a bunch of popcorn and beer and schnitzels. I think schnitzels is something that you would eat in Turkish. I'm not sure. But anyway, as always, thanks guys for watching my show. Make sure to whack up here or whack right here if you want to see any of my past reviews. And let me know, what is your favorite horror movie that has to do with Dracula? Do you think once you go see this movie, if you want to see a sequel to it? And oh yeah, never forget, if you don't like what you're watching, you can always turn it off. But thanks for coming back, seeing me.